Marc. How are you, Howell?
Man, how you doing?
Good,
Thank you so much for asking me to come out.
You're very welcome. I looked at I saw you on Facebook, Land of Oz, and I was like, man, this store looks really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, indeed. And your shop is it's those rare and vintage and unique items.
Yes, but what we're priding ourselves on is that no over-the-top antiquing pricing or eBay pricing or online pricing. We want to make sure that everybody that comes in there can look around, find something affordable. We always tell everybody, you know, it's not a consignment shop, it's just my wife and I. We've been collecting together now for over 25 years, and we just decided it was time to open up and start partying with a lot of things and getting new things in for people and older things in for people. Logo, you know, vintage, rare, and unique, but our bottom logo is we don't want to die with it. We want to sell it, you know. We got nobody else to leave it to, so we'll take offers on things that are, you know, maybe you think it's a little high end, but we'll take some offers, we'll talk about it, we'll negotiate. We opened up first week of February this year, but had to shut down when everybody else did, and then reopened again May, and we have been really well received from the community. The paper gave us a great write-up. We got a great response on the Facebook page. We're still working on possibly moving into the internet face with you know, our web page. Right, we can see how we do for the first year. I don't want to fork out too much capital until we're doing really well, but so far so good. We couldn't be happier. We love being here. I like this small community versus we live up in Colorado Springs, and we'd rather be down here because you can do so much in this little area on foot traffic that there's really no reason to be in a big, huge area like a strip mall or something like that. It just, besides the rent was too much, but this is a great area to be in for small businesses to get a start, you know, just to see how it's going to go for you. All the other businesses in the area have been very, very friendly. We all work together with helping each other out. Hey, go to this place, go to that place down the street, you know. And I'm active duty Army still. I'm retiring next year, and I got great response on Fort Carson up there in the Springs. I tell everybody about this coming down here. The Riverwalk, the food, the music. It's just a great community to be a part of.
Absolutely. I love public, and they're quite supportive. Thank you so much for your service in the Army.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to retiring next year and put some more effort into maybe expanding the shop eventually too, you know. But yeah, first start, I think we're doing great. We love the community. We get people down here from Denver and Castle Rock, and they go back and tell their friends. People that live here bring family and friends when they're visiting from out of town, and they bring them down here. And I make sure you go get some coffee, make sure you go get a cupcake up the street, go over get some pizza, take a walk. You know, it's nice down here, man. It really is.
Absolutely. And it definitely create a stigma about the rest of the Colorado thing, so that we're quite pleasant town.
Yes. Everybody says, "Oh, you're Pueblo." Yeah, man, we're in Pueblo. There's nothing wrong with Pueblo. Come on down to Pueblo, man. It's great. And we've been taking a lot of pride in it. You know, my wife hand picks everything in that place. You know, I mean, the vintage clothing and the jewelry and the costumes that we got out now for Halloween, and the collector stuff, and the records and the rock and roll pin-up memorabilia, you know, burlesque stuff, adult books, things like that. I'm telling you, everything is one of a kind. You're not gonna find a bunch of retail stuff in there. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah.
You spoke earlier about expansion. What do you plan on doing with expansion?
If we do get to expand, I want to do something like a Friday, Saturday night rated movie night, you know, where you just come in, have some wine and cheese, and, you know, watch a movie for free. You know, we'll have a wine cheese bar available for, you know, purchase, but I just want to show some really old, bad, schlocky, garbage movies, you know, where you can see the string holding up the flying saucer and all that kind of stuff. I grew up with that, so, and we get a lot of followers in there for that stuff. I've vintage movie posters from the 60s and 70s, and old VHS movies that you can't even find anymore on DVD. I want to show that kind of stuff, you know, right up on the wall, and you know, maybe sit on some pillows on the floor, you know, just make it like an old grindhouse theater. Yeah.
And speaking of movies, the design for this year is a combination of Hellraiser and Fear Loading Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And you put Land of Oz come on here, and this is a gift to you.
I this, man. It's going to go up in the store right behind the register. So not only will you see us, but you see all the other businesses when you come into my shop. You get to see everybody who's participating here on this podcast.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much for this.
You're very welcome.
Very
Thank you
cool.
so much, Marc, for being for bringing a really cool shop, Land of Oz onto Union and expanding, and I hope to see video movies when I move back to Pueblo and all that good stuff.
Thank you very much, man. 131 South Union. I'm going to show that right, just like that. And you see the sign right out in front. And come in and see our little dogs too, man.
Got awesome vintage
What are your dog's names?
Rex and Riley.
Batman stuff too.
Awesome name too.
Yeah. Riley's a punk rock girl. She's got pink in her. You can't miss her.
And are there any final words you'd like to give the audience at home?
Just come on down here, man. Support this town. There's a lot more going on down here than you think there is. It's a much nicer day than walking around a mall, you know, or going to a name brand restaurant. You know, there's plenty to do down here for the day. You know, if you like being outside, you like window shopping, you like little shops, you like little restaurants. You know, things are starting to come back. You know, we got the Chili Fest in a few weeks. And then I think this weekend too, up the street, they're having an outdoor music thing up there by the tap house or something like that. Yeah, so there's stuff going on here outdoors all the time.
Awesome. And it's a huge honor to welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you. We're really happy to be here. Me and my wife Susan, we're real happy to be here.
Welcome to the season and the Haus Cafe and Marc. And thank you so much for everything. And we'll definitely stop by before I take off back to Florida.
Please, man. Yeah, we're open late on Friday and Saturday because people are out down here hanging out. So yeah.
Thank you again, Marc, from the bottom of my heart.
My pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.
This is great.
And stay tuned for some more panels, and we're going to shine some light on the music scene and all that good stuff coming up next. And we'll see you in about a couple of minutes, so stay tuned.
2, 1.
Welcome to Sareth-Fest Music and Comedy Festival 2020. We're celebrating 7 years in Pueblo, Colorado, 10 years overall, and I'm honored to have David from D.Mann Productions producing the whole live stream for us on my YouTube channel. And my guests this evening are Jen and Ricardo from Innocent Sinners. Welcome to the show, folks.
And thank you folks so much for inviting us.
You're very welcome indeed. What's the story behind Innocent Sinners?
Well, we're a record label located here in Howell. Not only a record label, but we're also a zine, a disc show, and we also set up shows. I've been doing shows for over 30 years here, since 1989. We put out records from bands from not only from Pueblo and Colorado, but from Brazil, Spain, Germany, all over the world.
What got you into all that?
Just punk and hardcore. You know, punk, hardcore, metal. You know, just started off as a skateboarder back in, just probably 86 when I was probably 10, 11 years old. Just started listening to, thrasher punk comps and just started listening to stuff and wanted the stuff that was a little bit more intense that kind of matched my skating. Because I like to skate real fast and Nirvana just wasn't cutting it. I need something that was a little bit more that, when I foul or whatever, I get mad and I want to do it again.
Absolutely. And everyone that are on the bill, they tell me your festival is very punk rock because either it's downstairs in someone's basement or Gregory's art gallery or coffee shops like the Haus Cafe, and we just pop up and put on a show for everyone and make sure it's free so everyone can come in and enjoy some great live music comedy.
That's a great point that it's free. One thing that I really want to stress is Innocent Sinners, we always do all ages shows. That is very important because we believe that our music should be accessible to everybody, and we try to make them cost effective, if not free. We have touring bands, it's $2 or $3. They never charge more than $3. And that just goes directly to the band. So we try to make sure that it's accessible to all ages, all classes. If you can't afford it, talk to us, whatever. Hey, draw us, make this a drawing table. We'll take that as an acceptance, right?
Go on innocentcenters.com and it's free downloads of music.
Yeah, we have a ton of free music.
What bands are part of Innocent Sinners?
All kinds of cool ones. We got Sonic Vomit, a local one. We got a Sonic Vomit Patrick Noise split 7-inch that's in the works. That's going to be a beauty. Of course, PID. My punk rock band's on there. We also have Os Melhores from Sao Paulo and from Brazil. We have a Nervoso. Nervioso has ex-band members from Los Crudos. Punk Chicano legends right there. So I have that 7-inch coming out. Kind of Living Shred. We have a bunch of different stuff. Like we put out this year, we put out PSO, Project Sellout. Just a bunch of goodies. Here's the Flexi 7-inch that we put out for PID. Remember those old Flexi disc records?
Got 3 songs on it.
3 songs, all that music's over on instastage.com. Punk as Heck has an anti-racist song, Sick of You. We put out this Bastard Noise cassette that was actually recorded here at the Hanging Tree. This guy's a legend. I don't want to toot our own horn, but he's done he has that live in Tokyo, live in Amsterdam, and live in Pueblo. So it's kind of neat. And we did 500 of these in March. 500, I split it with him. His 250 sold out. You know what I mean? I need another 100. Send him that. I need another 50. I was like, I dragged my feet on that. He says, I'm gonna have to make more. I sent another 50. We sold out 500 of these within like 8 months, 6 months. That's the power of the school. So now we have Pueblo out there being known, listened to all over the world. So it's pretty rad, kind of stuff like that.
That's pretty neat. What type of tour bands did you hang in with?
Oh man, geez. Everywhere from back in the day, bands like Schlong, which had members of Operation Ivy, bands like 108 that had members of Youth of Today, and even like Bastard Noise, you know, Eric Woods is co-creator of Noise. And so just a lot of different diverse things, everything from metal to ska to punk, hardcore. I mean, Undertow, Spark Marker, I mean, just the list goes on. It's just crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome that you both brought music from every corner of the world to Pueblo, and we need it. We're pretty special too.
Of course, yeah. And so it's about, we love Pueblo, we love our city, so yeah, that's the main reason why we do it.
See, and I saw you perform pictures on Facebook on Alvarado
Yeah.
Sunday. How did that show go?
Yeah, those are amazing.
So fun.
They're great. They're really good. It's for a good cause, you know. And it's not often that you get to sit on the streets of the city and just scream that Nazis suck. You know what I mean? With a megaphone on it, with the amplifier turned up so loud that you can hear from blocks and blocks away.
We got little 5 and 6-year-olds screaming it.
Yeah, so it's a really fun event. Yeah, and it's for a good cause.
What other venues have you put shows on through the years in Pueblo?
In Pueblo, we did a lot of basement shows, but we did everything from places like there was a place called the Underground in the clubhouse over on Sareth Avenue. We did a place called Gary Homes, those places were up on Lake Avenue. But recently we started doing some, of course, here, and I would like to do a shout out to Charles and everybody here, the staff and everybody here. They've always been wonderful, receptive, and they've been really had open arms and open doors, and stayed late and did extra work for all the hardcore punk rock scene. So this is one of my primary venues, but we also started using another place called the Bomb Shelter, which is out in the county. That's a pretty rad, fun place too.
Indeed, I've heard a lot about that place too, so that's legendary.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And what other bases shall we cover for the evening from this vicinity?
Just a lot of new stuff coming forward. I got a bunch of new vinyl. Like I said, this year we did 4 projects, 3 of them were vinyl. We're gonna probably do about the same amount this year. I got PID's doing a split 7 into the Los Mayores from Sao Paulo. We also got a Punk Por Vida, which is an all Chicano punk compilation, and that has some really cool bands on it. Once again, some of those
We
kudos.
do a lot of silk screen t-shirts. Unfortunately, I sold out. We had a bunch, but we
Yeah,
sold
that's
out.
pretty neat.
So,
Sorry about that.
what
Yeah.
we do, we have like, the mean to racist, Nazi stuff,
And Food Not Bombs.
food not bombs, things
We
like
do a
that.
lot. We do a lot of silk screen when we sell. Actually, we just recently for District 70 up in Colorado Springs, we just ran off 60s T-shirts for a movement to get their mascot removed. It was a Chief Indian, and they wanted that removed from the high school mascot. And so
And now they're saying Lamar may want to do more for them.
for the march, so we're part of that movement. So we made all the shirts and banners for that. So that's all kind of fun. So we're doing stuff that we do as well, not just the music.
Most definitely. I'm glad you cover all different topics and need it. Are there any final words for this incentive that you'd like to show to the world out there?
No, just big shout out. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for the hanging tree. Thank you great for the production, and also thank you to all the people that come to all the shows and all the bands that continue to play. Be it late at night, be it on a Sunday or a Tuesday or whatever, be it on a stormy night, just whatever. Just thank you so much for listening to the music. Check it out. There's innocentcenters.com, bunch of free music. You can also download all that music for free as well. but just keep going to the shows and support all the local music and come out and support. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out. I have a gift for the Innocent Sinners. So, Ben and Ricardo, this is for you all.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
for the Innocent Sinners is on the
Wow,
on
that's
the
freaking
poster.
rad.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
That is
And I got stuff for you too,
beautiful.
but I'll hook you up more later. But I definitely got some of this in one of these
Yeah, we
albums.
wanted to bring you a shirt before I realized I didn't have any left.
But this is some of the stuff from the label.
Oh, yeah, that's so awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome.
I have contract and I'll give you those as soon as they go off there. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight, and hopefully we get some more traffic to your website.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And until next time, we'll see you on our next panel with Gregory from.
We're gonna go live. What's that noise? Oh, is that somebody's?
That's my MSNBC, so I gotta turn it off.
Okay. Yeah.
He does that. Ruth Bader Ginsburg just died, so everyone's going crazy.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. Welcome to Sareth-Fest Music and Comedy Festival 2020. This is our 7th year in Pueblo, Colorado doing this, bringing original content from musicians, storytellers. We're incorporating podcasts now, and we got comedians too. So all the next tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday is going to be just madness. Hopefully, with safe, with social distancing and COVID CDC guidelines and everything in this. So with my guest tonight is Mike, one of my favorite people in Pueblo, Colorado. His name is Gregory. And Gregory, we go way back to the
Pedroia Gallery, yeah, it was about 6 years ago. I think it was maybe your second year we actually did this, what we're doing now. But there were, of course, people, and we didn't have COVID to worry about that.
It's such a huge honor for you to open your doors like that for us, and having singer-songwriters there and
Right.
performing, and you meant a lot to me because I remember those nights that we went and watched those movies in your place. We had
That's right.
Pink Flamingo one
We
night.
didn't have any restrictions at all, no. And what I really admired about what you did and what we were also trying to do is use media to build community. And so having kind of grown up in a film environment in the wintertime, doing a film series or a film festival, is a great way. And we did it on Monday nights. So people would come in on Monday night, and originally it was just BYOB, just bring your own drink. And eventually, after I think about the second year, it ended up becoming these huge, massive potlucks. So people would come for the film, and they were always very carefully curated. There was always a theme or a thread. And of course, the space was great, so it was a very intimate, fun space with a big screen. And we had, loyal followers that would come religiously, and then people would just show up on a Monday night. But we got upwards of over 100 people on those Monday nights in the dead of winter. And we did that for quite a few years, and I will be starting that back up again as soon as we open the gallery at Watertower Place.
Absolutely. Speaking of Watertower Place,
Yeah.
how did that come out?
Watertower Place, it's an interesting story because I came to Pueblo 8 years ago to open up a network of healthcare clinics. And I happened to live in this great historic building in downtown, the Tech Building on Central Plaza. So I was already living upstairs. And it was then Shane Jarrett and Mike Shishino, two local artists, who just asked me one day, what are you doing with your downstairs area? And I said, well, it's kind of my living room, but really nothing. What do you have in mind? And they said, well, we really want to start an art gallery that's actually representative of some of the younger artists and some of those that are, say, emerging or just starting or even mid-career. So I told them I was working 80-hour work weeks. I'd be more than happy to make it happen, but I needed them to come and meet me halfway. So to make a long story short, we did that for about 6 years. We did over 100 exhibitions, and pretty extraordinary. We won a lot of awards. And so when I first came to Pueblo at the same time, when I was kind of walking around, I also noticed the old Alvarado meatpacking plant. And having worked in the meatpacking plant in Berlin and Shanghai, even before even knowing who the architect was, I knew exactly what that building was all about. So like many people did back then, you break in the building basically to see what was inside. And I went with a group of people in it, and I remember seeing this one space, because it's 250,000 square feet. And when it was built in 1916 to 1917, It was designed by a Norwegian architect, Hans Peter Henschen. And it was the world's largest, most modern, most sophisticated, safest slaughter, meat packing, and cold storage facility in the world. So it really did have this amazing, commanding presence, but meat packing plants also have kind of some sinister, shall we say, energy sometimes. And so having worked in other projects, I just always remembered that one space, and I thought, you know, my original gallery was really small. I mean, I loved it. It was great for what we were doing. But I said, I would really love to have a larger space. So I went over to Watertower Place, talked with Ryan McWilliams, who's the owner, and said, you know, I'd love to put an art gallery in here. And at the time, much of Watertower Place was based in kind of rail. That was the main industry, because his family comes from a rail background. So much of the original plan was all about the fact that 1 million rail cars still come through Pueblo each year. We have 3 junctions downtown. We're still a big onboarding, offboarding facility. And of those 1 million cars, 10% need to have maintenance. And maintenance is a real problem. I mean, if you've been out looking at all the trains on the side of the highways, you know, freight train after freight train, and of course freight is where we make all of our money in rail. We don't make any money in passenger service. So the goal was to use Watertower Place as kind of this rail facility consortium, and then build a rail maintenance garage behind a 175,000 square foot facility, which could accommodate 220 cars under one roof. So that was kind of the revenue stream, the model that was used to justify purchasing, you know, this massive, you know, historic property. And then when I came along with this notion of putting an art gallery in, there started this conversation about maybe there could be some real powerful kind of community-based effort, you know, in the structure. And so I kind of approached Ryan and actually decided that I was going to take a greater role in just understanding the history of the building, and then learning about how we might be able to use it to benefit the community. So the one thing that we did want to do, which I really insisted on, and it's something that I enjoy doing, is we started doing public tours. So we started about 2 years ago, and in the first 18 months, we had 4,200 people come through on our tour. So right away we knew, you know, Puebloans have lived in this town for generations. And Pueblo is a community where it's like 1 degree of separation with everyone. And so the meatpacking plant, there was always kind of, you know, oh, I know my aunt worked there, or my uncle worked there, my dad, my mom, my cousin, my friend. There's kind of like the steel mill. There's like 1 degree of separation. And it's very similar to the steel mill, because it was the 2nd largest employer in Pueblo. So, you know, it was amazing to have all these people come to the front door who had lived here for generations, but who had not been behind the doors. But we always get, usually, in most cases, and we don't know until the day of the tour, we'll get former workers. Some who worked in the 1950s, the 1940s. We even had one woman who came in and she screamed across the room. She said, "Hey, I haven't seen you in 30 years." I mean, she had not seen her in 30 years. So we just continually just listened and listened. And what happened over those 18 months was pretty magical, because that's how we actually created the floor plans for all the different levels. So we're trying to create what we call a vertical urban village, where the whole building is designed on the arc of ideation. So if you have an idea, so if you're a visual artist, performing artist, if you're an engineer, if you're a photographer, if you're a food entrepreneur, no matter what you are, our goal is that this will be a safe place where you come and you bring your ideas. So CSUP, Colorado State University Pueblo, they have an office at Watertower Place. We work at PCC, and in fact, every single thing that we do in the building has an educational component. We have housing going in, lofts in the ice house, apartments going into the ramp area on the back. A lot of food, a lot of engineering, cyber security, cyber privacy, and then the whole kill floor on the 4th floor. And everyone asks, well, why was the kill floor on the 4th floor? Well, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, gravity was like the most powerful technological innovation. So if you got your animals to march all the way up to the fourth floor, and they were doing upwards of 3,000 to 5,000 animals a day. So if you actually marched all the way up there, or the animals did, it was easier for you to move all those other parts. So it isn't just meat that's actually being, collected, in those different areas. So that was a really powerful way to actually make all of those different systems work successfully. Henry Ford and Haus Cafe, who designed the meat packing line, they both were students of what we call rational factory, and that's people, processes, and successful outcomes. I really think they just wanted to lower their labor costs because labor was really expensive. So if you could find other ways to move things around, Henry Ford didn't have to get into it. So for me, I have been actively involved in just the development of the project and studying its history and how we can actually make all these different components work. So the exciting thing is the fourth floor is 22,000 square feet of special event space. So there we have two areas where we can actually do music, we can do independent artists, we can do major headliners, we can do dance groups, we can do just about anything. And there are restaurants, breweries, distilleries, stores, a lot of different businesses. So we can be just like a one-stop shop. The whole family could go, everyone could go and do it. But for us, it's really exciting because the second floor, we have what's called the Media Center. And this is an actual working media center. And this is in partnership with CSUP, the Pueblo Regional Film Commission, with positive content. And also, something that I can't talk about just yet, but it's going to be big news, is another project that is rooted in Pueblo history, but is going to take us forward in a very interesting way. So the whole notion of media and content creation, that's actually the fastest growing industry in the world right now. And COVID just took that into a whole other stratosphere. Because whether you're doing things live virtually, or whether there's content being created, we are now going to focus on just that notion of content creation. So, and Pueblo just has really great diversity. It's messy. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly, but it's the messiness that just makes it so interesting. And all the good humanity in any story is always in that messiness. So right now what we're doing is we're getting ready. Hopefully I'm going to be able to restart the tours again next month in October. We're going to do limited tours until December, and then we usually take a break. But I miss that part of it. I do private ones now for investors or people who are learning about the building. I still do that regularly. But next June is the 100th commemoration of the Great Pueblo Flood. So we're working really hard to prepare for that. The meatpacking plant was actually the epicenter of the flood. And it actually survived brilliantly and became a beacon of hope. So we're going to be working at that story, and it's pretty powerful. That's what's been going on at Watertower Place.
Indeed, I'm so glad you brought so much life to the Watertower Place. And I always feel like, a lot of local musicians playing on the rooftops and
Yep.
And Bear told me that there's an amp in the back, so there's a lot of performances out back too. So.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I would say we probably do about 3 to 5 music videos a month. We've done full feature science fiction films. We've done reality TV. We've done episodic TV. We've done full feature. We've done just about everything. A lot of commercial work too. So people bring in cars or trucks. I brought Harley Davidson in, which really kind of started the whole thing. And that really took it to a whole other level. So Pueblo just has great content. It just hasn't been its best storytelling. So we're trying to change that.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that for sure. And I wanted to give you this gift for taking part.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
With the Watertower Place channel on there.
That's fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Actually framed and all that.
It's amazing because I remember we did it the first time and it was just so exciting and so many people came. So, this is great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Well, enjoy it.
And this is a ladder with my comedy album on there.
Oh my gosh.
Stand up stuff.
I'm not going to be able to sleep for like a week.
Is there any final words you'd like to
This
give
is great.
to the audience?
No, I would just say, if you want to learn more about what's happening with Watertower Place, it's PuebloWatertowerPlace.com. We're on Facebook and all the other social media channels. But we will be releasing the new dates for the tours. And I highly encourage it. They're a lot of fun. Most people are blown away. But we've done weddings, we've done birthdays, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, we've done reunions, we've done just about everything. It's kind of frustrating now, but we have to kind of take a step back. So right now what we're really working on is we have strategic partnerships with elementary schools, junior high schools, junior colleges, and then postgraduate also. So for us, it's really about creating that space where people can feel safe, they can explore, and that's what Hans created when he first designed these everything. So we're really just back in there doing the same old thing. It just isn't cows, sheep, and hogs. So
Indeed, most definitely.
this is great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Reagan, and hopefully there's a home for that on.
Oh, there will be. We'll put it in the media center.
Awesome.
That'd be great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being my guest tonight.
Thank you.
On
I
this
appreciate it.
show. And
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. I hope.
That's right. I hope so. At Watertower Place.
Indeed.
There you go.
Take care.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Awesome. Take care, y'all.
Great. I love it.